Chapter 4. Written in the Mirror. The next morning, I woke up just before my alarm clock went off. I cracked open my usual 5 eggs and let them cook in the skillet as I was thinking of a motorcycle for some reason. It didn't take long before I realized I was thinking of a motorcycle, because I had dreamed of the green and white motorcycle that was running away from me from a few days ago. As I poured my orange juice, bits and pieces of the dream started coming back into my memory, like I was finishing up a puzzle. Only this time, the motorcycle couldn't get away, and the license plate was completely blank. Even more bizarre, there was no one on the motorcycle as it was operating and running away from me all by itself. This time, I was able to keep up with the motorcycle, and it wasn't getting away. I was asking myself, why am I chasing this thing if no one is driving it? I hopped in the shower and got dressed, not thinking much of my dream. I got into my patrol car and headed into work to start my shift. I checked my work cell phone and saw a missed phone call with a voicemail. I listened to the voicemail and got annoyed when I found out it was from the same news reporter that tried to get a statement from me a few days ago at the police station. She asked for me to call her back for an interview. That's not going to happen, at least not yet. There's a lot I need to get sorted out before I go public and scare the town into thinking their children aren't safe once again. I pulled into the police station parking lot and got even more annoyed to find a news van there waiting on me. Hoping no one saw me, I made a U-turn and got out of there. I don't think anyone saw me as the news van didn't follow me. Crisis averted, thinking to myself, where do I go from here? I figured I'd go and pay Rayhouse a visit. I pulled off Grapevine and into Rayhouse's driveway. I didn't see his truck there and remembered to myself, it's a weekday, he's at the school. I almost made another U-turn, but the idea of checking to see if I were to get a response, if I were to knock on the door anyway, popped into my head. I got out of my car and knocked on the door. The door creaked open as if it wasn't shut properly. Hello? I shouted. Police department. No response. I know I shouldn't go inside, but this is a good opportunity. Rayhouse would never invite me inside his home. I'll just walk around the outside and see if his windows are shut. I'm sure he'd appreciate me just checking to make sure his home is secure, right? I started walking around the house, just making sure nothing seemed out of place. Everything seemed normal until I walked to the backyard. There was one tree in the backyard all by itself. It took a second before I realized it was the same tree I had dreamed about a few nights ago. Everything was spot on. From the shade of green, from the leaves to the branches swaying in the wind. It was at this time I remembered the rest of my dream from last night. I chased the unoccupied motorcycle until it stopped at this very tree. I got out of my patrol car and I woke up. How did I dream about Rayhouse's tree and saw every little detail without ever seeing Rayhouse's tree? Make that make sense? I continued my walk around the house and saw a window was open. I shouldn't, but I think I know I'm going to. I made it back to the front door and walked inside. This is a terrible idea, I told myself. Police department. If anyone is inside, make your presence known. No response. I nearly keyed up on my radio to notify county dispatch I have an unsecured house, but knew they would send a deputy to assist. That would make for too many more questions I don't have an answer to. I walked inside expecting the place to be trashed. I hardly knew Rayhouse, but from what I did know, I was surprised to see everything was neatly put away, and he kept a clean house. I guess he cleans a lot at work, so he keeps a tidy place, I thought to myself as I smelled bleach from the front room. Wait, I smell bleach. Not just a little, but a pretty good amount. It's common to smell it from the kitchen and bathroom, but the front room? This guy is definitely hiding something. I walked into the kitchen next, and then the bathroom. Everything seemed normal, except the stench of bleach could be smelled from every room of the house. I walked into Rayhouse's main bedroom, still smelling bleach. It looked normal until I noticed a huge corkboard on one of the walls. I shifted my focus onto the board and noticed pictures, only pictures. Wait a minute. They are picture of Haley. Rayhouse had pictures of Haley all over the corkboard. They weren't ordinary pictures. They were pictures of Haley taken while at school. Haley wasn't posing or even looking in Rayhouse's direction. Rayhouse took the pictures while Haley was completely unaware, just as if the timing couldn't be any worse. My radio keyed up. County to 944. Please respond to Virginia and Pennsylvania Street. Caller states she had just arrived home and noticed her front door was wide open. 10-4, I responded, trying not to let my agitation out. I'll definitely be seeing Reyes again as I walked outside to my patrol car. You know, you're in hot water if Reyes has motion sensors or cameras anywhere, I thought to myself as I drove away. 944 is 1023, I relayed to dispatch as I met with Brenda in the front yard. Brenda thanked me for getting to her so quick. She told me she believes someone was inside her home as she just got home from work. I've known Brenda for a few years, and she was known to get overly excited over anything. She was also forgetful, and I first thought she forgot to shut her door when she left. Breathe, Brenda. Wait out here and I'll go take a look, I told her, as I started walking towards her house. I could hear her hyperventilating behind me as I walked inside her home. Police department, I yelled as I thought to myself, I seem to be doing a little too much of this lately. If anyone is here, let me know. No response as expected. 944, I'll be making entry, I told dispatch as I drew my handgun and made way inside. 10-4, we have a deputy en route to assist, dispatch responded. Brenda has a small house. I'm sure I'll be long done by the time they get here. I searched the living room and kitchen on the main floor. Brenda was also a neat freak, and nothing seemed out of place. I made my way to the one closet and one bedroom, which was all that was on the main floor, and found nothing. I made my way up the stairs, which lead directly to the master bedroom. Police department, I again shouted. The moment I stepped on the first step, it was like someone had flipped a switch in the air. The air felt thicker, and the aura shifted the more and more I walked up the stairs. How does she sleep like this? I asked myself. My thoughts were interrupted when I heard the sound of running water from the bathroom shower and steam flowing out of the bathroom. Oh shit, this is the real deal. Police department, come out with your hands up. Almost instantly, the water shut off and I couldn't hear anything, not even the wind from the outside. I stood at the bedroom entrance with my gun pointed towards the bathroom in the far corner, waiting on this person to make the next move. I couldn't see any shadows nor hear any footsteps, but steam was still escaping the bathroom. Okay, maybe I will wait for the deputy to get here. I started to backtrack down a few steps and radio into dispatch to let them know I had one at gunpoint. But my radio keyed up first. The same static noise from Carrie's house came over my radio, and my heart sank.
I see you.
A childlike voice said over the radio. I wanted to run back down the stairs and out of the house, but at the same time, I knew I couldn't. I've been through this before. I need to listen, and maybe I will get somewhere. With white noise still coming through my portable radio, I slowly walked towards the bathroom. I see you too, I said. I peeked around the corner into the bathroom, wondering what bizarre thing would happen next. I couldn't see much as the bathroom was covered in steam from the hot water in the shower running earlier. I was expecting it now. I looked at the mirror and read, "Did you find her?" That was written through the steam. I took a moment as if I was accepting my own fate and said, "No." "Where is she?" I asked. A moment of uncomfortable silence passed before I heard,
You should have opened the door.
I should have opened the door? What door? From Reyes's house? Just then I heard scratching coming from the other side of the shower curtain. "Who's there?" I shouted. I took a step towards the shower and reached for the shower curtain. Just then I felt a hand on my shoulder. Without hesitation, I swung my elbow back to fend off whatever had just grabbed me.
Son of a bitch!
Deputy Runnels yelled as I nailed him on the side of his head. "What the hell?" I shouted once I realized it was Deputy Runnels. "Why do you keep sneaking up on me like that?" I asked as my heart was pounding.
Sneaking up? I yelled for you over the radio and again when I walked inside. You didn't say anything back, so when I came in to look for you, you were talking to no one again. What the hell is going on?
Deputy Runnels asked. "Let's just get out of here. It's all clear," I responded as I walked past Deputy Runnels and down the stairs. I met back with Brenda, who was anxiously looking at me. "Everything is fine and no one's inside," I said. Brenda's facial expression changed from anxious to relief as she walked up and gave me a hug. Deputy Runnels walked out of the house and told Brenda she may not have any hot water as the shower had been running for a while. Brenda looked at both of us and asked if she left the shower going. "I believe so," I answered, still thinking about what had just happened in the back of my mind. I walked back to my patrol car and got inside when Deputy Runnels met me at the door. I rolled my window down and he said,
I know you're stressed out. What can I help you with?
I answered on, I need some sleep and I'll be good. By the way, have you heard from Carrie lately? Last I heard from her was the other day when she invited me into her home, played some game, and ran away. Deputy Runnels looked at me and said,
No, every once in a while we will go over to check on her, but she never answers the door for us.
Interesting, I think it's time I pay her a visit, I said. I later arrived to Carrie's house and pulled into her driveway. I knocked on the door and said, Carrie, it's Ray. I'm just checking on you. Is everything okay? I didn't get an answer, but as I turned to walk away, something in the corner of my eye grabbed my attention. I looked back towards a window close to the front door and saw a pair of eyes looking at me through the blinds in the window. Carrie? I asked. Are you all right? Carrie didn't move nor say anything. She just kept watching me. I walked over to the window and I must have gotten too close because she backed away and out of sight. I walked away from the house and back to my patrol car thinking that was weird. At least I know she's all right, I guess.